Hey there, it's Mike from TRIDOS, and in this video we'll go over the installation guide for the Mini External Fire Selector. For this installation you will need a screwdriver, you will need a PH2 Phillips 2mm hex and a 1.5mm hex. And it's also very useful if you have some sort of tweezers or needle nose pliers. For now we'll put these aside, and this one as well, and we'll start with the pistol. The first thing you want to do is take off the upper. You can do this by pushing this button, take it apart. And you will want to take the 2mm hex drive, and you want to go ahead and remove the top sights. These are 2 screws, like so. We can put these aside for now, and we can remove the blowback unit from the pistol, and this is what we're going to be working with. So next up we want to take out the parts from the bag. It should come pre-assembled, like so. It's important you take notice of the orientation. So this is the correct orientation for this part to be assembled. So keep in mind that it should be this part should be on the top side, and this part should have the 3 dots which indicate that it's full auto mode, indicating upwards, and the same on the other side. If it's on the bottom side, when looking at this from the top, it should be a single fire mode. So next we want to take the Phillips screwdriver and remove the screw from the fire selector that comes on there by default. We'll need the screw, so don't lose it. Put this aside, and you want to take out the parts that are inside here. This part we won't need, so you can put this back inside the bag for safekeeping, and put that aside. This one we'll need. Obviously you can also use any upgraded fire selectors, but it's not really needed. We want to switch out the screwdriver to the 1.5mm hex and undo this screw on the fire selector. You can actually just hold it by the red part and just unscrew it. And be careful not to lose the spring, it might jump away. Just wiggle it out. It should be a tight fit. So this is, I would say, the trickiest part. What you want to do is take the small screw and preset it on the screwdriver. Oops. That way it's going to be easier for you to start screwing it in when you need it. And then you want to take this axis part, the axis, and then put on the spring. And you want to take this part by the stem and use either the needle nose pliers or the tweezers to put this in place. The idea is here that you need to guide this axis through the hole in the back just from the inside. So just align it from the inside, and it should go through like so. And then what you do is you just put a finger here so it doesn't fall out. And again, as I mentioned before, make sure that if the lever peg is on that side, looking from the top, then make sure you have the full auto mode facing top as well. So just place it on there. You can tighten it later, but just make sure that it sits on the alignment for the axis. Then take the screwdriver with the screw that's already on there, and screw it in place. At this point, you don't need to tighten it, and even if you mess up the direction, it's not a big deal. We can switch that out later. So now we have this part on here. As you can see, it's already working, so you can already turn it. And then the next step is we need to put back this plastic piece that came with the pistol. That's the fire selector. And then we want to install this lever piece. So it should go in like this. So just put it in there. So it is a bit tighter fit than the original part. That's so to avoid any wobble any extra sound coming from it. And then you can go ahead and switch out the screwdriver back to the Phillips 2 and reinstall this screw right here. And that's it. That's the installation finished. Now you can install this back into the pistol. Reinstall the 2 M3 screws. And we can put this pistol back together. We've now completed the install of the Mini External Fire Selector. And before you start using it, here's a few tips you need to know. When you first install it, it might be a bit tricky and a bit hard to turn it around. For this, I suggest you practice a little bit, turning it with the thumbs from the sides instead of pushing on it. So don't put force on it. That's gonna just make it harder. So just try to push it with a little resistance from the sides. So once you get used to it, you can essentially do it just with one hand. And keep a note, this is a brand new pistol. So as you can see, there's a small gap. This is due to the parts that internal parts have not really worn in. So as soon as you cycle it, it should snap into place and look something like that. So here's the single mode. And when you swap it around, that's full auto mode. So that's it. That's the installation complete. And yeah, hopefully everything went well. If you ran into some issues, please contact us on our Facebook page or via email. This is Micus at TRIDOS.DESIGN, or you can just reply to the order email you got from us.